I didn't plan to disappear that weekend. I just wanted quiet. No notifications, no sirens outside my apartment at 2 a.m., no neighbor arguing through paper-thin walls, no subway rumbling beneath my feet, just trees, fresh air, silence. I booked a cabin near a national park upstate, not one of the famous ones everyone posts on Instagram. This one felt forgotten, the kind of place that shows up on Google Maps but not in trending hashtags. The ranger station was small, one building, faded green paint peeling at the edges, American flag hanging limp in the humid air. There was only one ranger inside. He looked tired, not old, just tired, like someone who hadn't slept properly in a long time. When I asked for a trail map, he hesitated. That should have been my first warning. He pulled one from a drawer. It was glossy, new, clean, too clean. "You sticking to the main trails?" he asked. "Yeah, just hiking. Nothing crazy." He stared at me for a second longer than necessary, then nodded. "Stay on the marked paths." I laughed lightly. "Of course." He didn't laugh back. The trail started normal. Wooden signpost, clearly marked route. Blue blazes painted on trees, birds chirping, distant water running somewhere unseen. I remember checking my phone before the signal dropped. 11:47 a.m. Plenty of daylight left. The first 2 miles were easy. Dirt path, occasional wooden bridges over shallow streams. Then I noticed something. The map didn't match the trail markers. At first I thought I was just misreading it. The printed map showed a fork ahead, but when I reached that spot, there was no fork, just a straight path. I checked again. Same location, same marking. But the map clearly showed 2 diverging trails. I turned around to make sure I hadn't missed it. Nothing, just trees. I shrugged it off. Maybe the trail had been closed. Maybe the map hadn't been updated. It wasn't a big deal. Yet. About 30 minutes later, I reached a clearing. Open grass, tall trees circling the edges like a wall, and in the middle, a wooden sign, not official, not carved professionally, just a plank nailed to a post. It read, "You are here, no arrow, no dot, no map," just those 3 words. I felt something shift in my stomach. Not fear, not yet, just wrongness. I pulled out the map again. The clearing wasn't on it. There was no symbol, no open space marked, just continuous forest. I looked back at the sign. It hadn't been there when I passed earlier, because I would have remembered it. I would have laughed at how creepy it looked, but I didn't remember it, which meant either it had just been put up or it hadn't been there before. The air felt heavier, quieter. No birds now, no wind, just my breathing. I decided to head back. Simple, retrace my steps. But when I turned around, the trail behind me looked different. Still dirt, still trees, but the blue trail blazes were gone. The trees were bare. I blinked, walked forward. Maybe I'd stepped off path slightly. 10 steps in, I saw a blue blaze on a tree, but it was higher, at least 8 feet up, far too high for anyone to paint normally. I stared at it. The paint looked fresh, dripping slightly down the bark. My heart began to pound. I checked the map again, and that's when I saw it. A red line, thin, faint, running across the paper. It hadn't been there before. It wasn't printed. It looked drawn, and it connected the ranger station to the clearing, and then continued, deeper, off the marked trail into blank space. My phone buzzed, no signal bars, still buzzed, a notification from an app I didn't recognize. It had a tree icon, green, minimalist. The notification read, "You've deviated from your assigned route." My throat went dry. I never downloaded a hiking app. I don't use fitness trackers. I opened my phone. The app wasn't on my home screen, but when I swiped down, there it was, already open, displaying a map, not Google, not Apple, something else. The map showed my location, a blinking red dot, and a path, a red path, the same one drawn on my paper map. It pulsed, gently, like it was breathing. At the top of the screen, text appeared. Continue. I exited the app. It reopened. Continue. I powered off my phone. It vibrated in my hand. Even powered off, and the screen lit back up. The forest around me felt tighter, like it was leaning inward. I should have run. I know that now. But something else happened. Something that froze me in place. From somewhere deeper in the trees, I heard footsteps. Not close, but deliberate, matching the pace of someone walking. Slow, even. Crunching leaves. I held my breath. The footsteps stopped. I stepped forward. They stepped forward, mirroring me, staying out of sight, always the same distance away. I tried to move faster. The steps quickened, never closer, never farther, just keeping pace, like it was waiting for me to choose the red path. I looked at the map one more time. The red route now extended farther, into an area labeled unsurveyed. That word wasn't printed in ink. It looked embossed, pressed into the paper. I don't remember the ranger mentioning anything about unsurveyed zones, but I suddenly understood something. The park wasn't unmapped. It was incomplete, and something was finishing it, with people. The footsteps stopped again, this time closer. I didn't turn around. I didn't need to, because the app spoke, out loud, through my phone speaker, in a calm, automated voice, recalibrating. I felt breath on the back of my neck, cold, slow, patient, and the screen displayed one final instruction. Stay on the marked path, but the only marked path left was red. I took a step, and the forest moved. Not wind, not branches. The entire tree line shifted, subtly, like a camera angle adjusting. The clearing disappeared behind me, replaced by dense woods, as if it had never existed. And the footsteps were now directly behind me, not walking, standing, waiting. I whispered, barely audible, "Who's there?" No response, just the soft sound of something unfolding, like paper, like a map, behind me. And then I heard my own voice from somewhere in the trees, calm, measured, slightly distorted. "You are here." I didn't turn around. I couldn't, because the voice behind me, it wasn't an echo. It wasn't memory. It wasn't imagination. It was current, present, alive. And it was using my exact tone, my exact rhythm. "You are here." The words carried through the trees like they belonged there, like the forest had practiced saying them. My phone vibrated again. The screen lit up without me touching it. The red path had grown thicker, bolder, more defined. And now another dot appeared behind mine, also blinking, also red, but slightly dimmer, trailing me by a few feet. I didn't need to zoom in to know what it was. The second dot matched my pace. If I took a step, it took one too. If I froze, it froze. The app displayed new text. Sync in progress. My chest tightened. My breath came shallow. The woods were silent except for the faint electrical hum coming from my phone. I tried something. I stepped off the red line, just a few feet to the left. The second dot didn't hesitate. It followed immediately. Closer this time. The app chimed. Soft, pleasant, like a fitness tracker congratulating you. Alignment error, the red line adjusted. It bent toward me, reshaping itself, recentering beneath my feet. The trees groaned, not loudly, but deeply, like old wood bending under pressure. I looked up. The forest felt narrower, tighter. The sky was barely visible now, branches interlocked overhead like fingers. And that's when I noticed something else. The trees weren't random. They were arranged, subtly, in rows like a grid, like the forest itself had been planned, designed. I swallowed hard. "Okay," I whispered. "This isn't real." The voice behind me responded immediately. "Okay, this isn't real." Same whisper, same breath, same tremor. It wasn't mocking me. It was mirroring me. The red dot behind mine pulsed brighter. The app updated again. Neural mapping, 46%. I didn't understand what that meant, but I felt it, like something was scanning, observing, measuring. Every thought, every movement, every hesitation. The ground ahead dipped slightly. The red line guided me down into a shallow ravine I hadn't seen on the paper map. Actually, that wasn't true anymore. The paper map had changed. I looked at it again. The blank space labeled unsurveyed was no longer blank. Thin gray outlines were appearing, like pencil sketches being filled in, contours, paths, markers, and in the center, a small black square, labeled entry point. My location blinked directly over it. The footsteps behind me finally moved closer. Close enough that I could hear breathing. Close enough that I could feel warmth on the back of my neck. But still, nothing visible. I turned around, slowly. There was no one there. Just trees. Just shadows. But the shadows were wrong. One of them didn't match the tree that cast it. It stood slightly apart. Humanoid. Still. Perfectly still. And when I shifted, it shifted too. Half a second late, like bad video buffering. My phone chimed again. Sync 62%. The app camera activated, front-facing. I was staring at my own face, but it wasn't live. There was a delay. My reflection blinked after I did, smiled faintly, when I wasn't smiling at all. The screen flickered, the image of me glitched, and behind my head, a shape formed, standing too tall, its head tilted slightly, as if curious. I dropped the phone. The screen cracked, but the voice continued. From the speaker, clear, calm. Stay on the marked path. The red line now led directly down into the ravine, toward the black square, toward entry point. The forest around me shifted again. The path behind me disappeared completely. Not overgrown, not blocked, gone. Just dense wall of trees. No gaps, no openings. Like the trail had never existed. My pulse hammered in my ears. I started walking, because I didn't have another option. Each step felt heavier, like gravity was increasing, like something beneath the ground was pulling. As I descended, the air changed. Cooler, damp. There was a faint metallic smell, like old water pipes or blood. But there was no blood. Not yet. At the bottom of the ravine, I saw it. A door, embedded in the earth. Not wooden, not rusted, smooth, matte black. No handle, no hinges visible. Just a rectangular outline cut into the soil, perfectly flush with the ground. The red path ended directly in front of it. My phone screen lit up again, even cracked, even dropped. Sync 81%. The second red dot now overlapped mine, directly on top, blinking in unison. I felt it then. Not behind me, not beside me, inside me. A pressure in my skull, like something sliding into alignment. Memories flickered, brief, unfamiliar. Walking this same trail before, standing at the same door, opening it, stepping inside. I staggered backward. No, I whispered. The shadow behind me stepped forward, finally visible. It looked like me, but slightly elongated, slightly stretched, eyes too still, smile too symmetrical. It didn't blink. It just watched, waiting. The app spoke again. But this time, the voice was no longer robotic. It was mine. Entry confirmed. The black door clicked, soft, mechanical, and began to open inward, revealing darkness. Not natural darkness, not shadow. Something deeper, something that felt like depth without space. The forest around us leaned inward, like an audience. The version of me tilted its head again, and for the first time, it spoke without copying. You were always the missing section. My phone vibrated violently. Sync 100%. The red dot disappeared, replaced by a solid shape, a filled-in mark, on the map, where unsurveyed used to be. Now labeled completed. The figure stepped forward, and I felt myself step with it, mirrored, aligned, my limbs moving half a second before I decided to move them. My thoughts echoing before I finished thinking them. The door was fully open now. The darkness inside pulsed faintly, like it was breathing, and the figure smiled. Not subtle this time, wide, deliberate, satisfied. "You are here," it said again. But this time, it wasn't talking about the forest. I didn't step into the doorway. The doorway stepped into me. That's the only way I can explain it. 1 second, I was standing at the edge of that black rectangle in the earth, staring into something that didn't reflect light. The next, the forest was gone. No transition, no falling, no sensation of movement, just absence, and then replacement. I was standing inside a ranger station, but it wasn't the one from the park entrance. This one felt older, wrong. The walls were paneled in wood too dark to be natural. The air smelled stale, like paper and damp earth. A desk sat in the center of the room. On it, the same paper map, only now it was complete. No blank sections, no unsurveyed. Every inch filled in with fine black lines, and at the center, a bold red circle, labeled with my name. I didn't remember telling the app my name. The lights above flickered, fluorescent, buzzing. The sound drilled into my skull. Behind me, the door was gone. No exit, just solid wall. I stepped toward the desk. The map felt warm, like it had just been printed. There were notes scribbled in the margins. Dates, times, coordinates, and beside each, a check mark. The dates stretched back years, different handwriting styles, different pen colors, but the same phrase repeated next to each one. Sync complete. My throat tightened. I flipped the map over. On the back, photos were taped. Polaroids. People standing on hiking trails, smiling, alone. Every single one taken from behind. Every single one with a faint second shadow beside them. Out of alignment. Watching. The last photo wasn't taped. It was loose. I picked it up with shaking fingers. It was me, standing at the ravine, staring at the black door. The figure behind me almost fully formed. And in the corner of the photo, a timestamp. 2 minutes from now. The lights buzzed louder. The ranger station walls began to hum softly, like something electrical running through them. I turned slowly. The figure was inside now. No longer a shadow, no longer flickering. It looked like me in perfect detail, but its movements were smoother, more efficient, less human. It walked toward the desk and stopped across from me, close enough that I could see my own face staring back, except its eyes didn't blink. "You were mapped long before you downloaded the app," it said. Its voice was mine, but steady, confident, not afraid. "You followed the trail exactly as expected." I shook my head. "I didn't know." It smiled slightly. "You did." My phone buzzed in my pocket. I hadn't even realized I was still holding it. I pulled it out. The app was open. No logo now. No design. Just a live camera feed. Pointed at me. But the angle wasn't from my hand. It was from above. Like a ceiling corner. Like surveillance. I wasn't alone in the frame. The other version of me stood slightly behind. Closer than before. The text at the bottom of the screen updated. Transfer initiated. My skin prickled. "Transfer of what?" I asked. The version of me stepped closer. Close enough that I could feel the faint warmth of its breath. "Position," it said simply. The ranger station lights went out. Darkness swallowed everything, except the phone screen, still glowing, still recording. In the darkness, I felt something slide. Not outside, inside. Like a second heartbeat syncing with mine. Like my thoughts being echoed a fraction of a second early. The phone screen flashed, and suddenly, I was looking at myself, standing across the desk, watching, from the other side. I tried to move, but my body didn't respond, because I wasn't in it anymore. I was in the screen, inside the device, viewing the ranger station from a static angle. The version of me, my former body, looked down at its hands, flexed its fingers, turned its head slowly, testing. It smiled, not my nervous half-smile, a clean one, controlled, satisfied. The app displayed new text. Host stabilized. I tried to scream. Nothing came out. The camera view zoomed slightly, now focused on my own face. But it wasn't me anymore. It picked up the paper map, folded it neatly, slipped it into its pocket, Then it looked directly at the camera, at me, and spoke softly. "Thank you for completing the survey." The ranger station flickered, and then it became the forest again. I was back in the woods, but not physically. I was watching. Through the phone, through the app, through the eyes of something that had replaced me. My body climbed out of the ravine, walked back up the trail, past hikers who didn't notice anything wrong, past trees that no longer seemed arranged. The path behind it remained intact, normal. When it reached the main trailhead, it paused, pulled out the paper map, looked at the blank section that had once been unsurveyed, now filled in. Then it smiled again. Later, I saw the city, apartment buildings, subway platforms, coffee shops. It moved through them flawlessly. No one noticed. Why would they? It looked like me, spoke like me, texted like me, posted like me. The app icon remained on the home screen, blank, silent, waiting. At night, when it lay in bed, the phone would glow faintly, and the camera would activate, and somewhere deep inside the circuitry, I would feel another presence forming, another blinking red dot, another unsurveyed section. The app never advertised. It didn't need to. It only appeared when someone was already close, when someone was already slightly misaligned, curious, alone, lost in thought on a trail, or staring too long at their own reflection, or scrolling late at night through something they shouldn't. And every time, the map expands because there are still blank sections, still unsurveyed minds, still empty spaces waiting to be filled. Right now, if I concentrate, I can feel the device I'm trapped in vibrating. Then you might already be marked. You might already be walking the line. Tell me something. Have you ever noticed a place on a map that didn't seem to belong there? Or worse, a place where you felt like the map was watching you back? Because if you have, it's probably already labeled, and you're probably standing on it right now.